G'day viewers, welcome to another super cool, super helpful repair video from the Goat Shed, located in Newcastle, New South Wales, Australia. Well, today is Tuesday, February 4th, 2025. Actually, incorrect, March 4th, 2025. Year's getting away from us. So that means after the 1st of March, we've started our fall here in Australia. We call it autumn, but it means the same thing. And we've been presented with this lovely top card to do a bit of work on. Now, the owner of this has several really nice machines. Matter of fact, I think he's got a new back glass coming for this.
Yes, yeah, he has.
As we speak, it's on its way, because if you have a look up near the numbers there, it's not real.
They're pretty ordinary.
Real good. Other than that, it's not too bad.
Not too bad, yeah.
So he'll do that. He'll have received that very, very soon. Now, top card was made in August 1974. It's model number 362. There were 3,100 made, and its designer was Jeff Brenner, and the artwork was by Gordon Morrison. Now, interestingly enough, this Jeff Brenner only designed about 7 games, one of which was a game called Royal Cards, which was his first design back in '73, and it never got produced. But he did produce games like Abracadabra and Atlantis. In fact, Abra was the last game he designed for Gottlieb, and then he seemed to disappear. So he obviously worked there between 73 and 77, possibly 72, I don't know. Anyway, the game prior to this was Freefall, Gottlieb's Freefall, and the one after it was Royal Pair. Both those games were designed by Jeff. Now, like we're just saying, this particular game here has been brought to us to have all the targets on the playfield changed.
And the bumper bodies.
And the bumper bodies. Once again, they don't look too bad, but the owner is a little bit fastidious about these things. We'll give you a closer look at them there, and we're going to change them. So we're going to do show you in the video later on how to change these. We have done this before, but we have a lot of new viewers. They won't have seen this. And all up, I think there's 13 targets to change, including the 2, just one there, all of those, another one there, and up the top. So that'll keep us busy. Now, one thing the owner complained about on this game was it wouldn't start up properly. Well, yeah, we've had a bit of a look, and we did find a loose wire on the, was it the hundreds or the thousands?
The thousands.
Thousands, which we've obviously resoldered back on, but this is one of those games with the old latching relay that tends to play up a bit, and we investigated a few things, and we'll show you what we've found. We've found 2 problems with the reset relay circuit. Let's have a quick look at that. So this is the reset circuit. We're pointing to the 10,000 reset, then it moves over, normally close switch, to the thousands, and it comes over to the hundreds, to the tens, and then it comes to motor 2B. Now, we ascertained in this game that those previous 4 switches were all closed, so we said it could possibly well be this motor 2B, which has got to close when the motor spins. So let's go and have a look at that. We'll see what we find. Now, in that schematic we mentioned a switch on 2B, so we decided we'd clean that. So we were able to get the file down in there, and what we found, that's the 2B stack that he's got, and it's the outside switch. What we found is that there's a spinning contact pad or pad on there. Also, at some stage, this is it here. Graham will try and illustrate that.
Is it this one or the next one?
It's the outside one. Yeah, this one. So I think it was that switch there, was it? Was it not? That's the one?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's just try and focus in on that a bit better for the viewers. There you go. You can see that is spinning. So we decided we'd cleaned that up and we tried it again and it still didn't work.
But we're going to fix this anyway.
So we discovered the actual problem is the reset relay itself, but that was a potential problem we wanted to fix. Now, just to illustrate to you what's had to happen there, we had to take the top stack off 2C, and that's the stack we have here. And remember, this is the one where the dog is in the long throw position. That means the edge of the dog there always is level with the carrier, not backwards. If you put that in the wrong position, you're going to have trouble. We know where it goes, but we've seen so many of those in the wrong position. So we're going to solder the back of that switch. Don't think we have a new one, do we?
Oh, we've got plenty of new ones, but I don't think we need to put a new one on it.
Okay, righto. So we'll drop a bit of solder. Now the real culprit here is this reset relay. Where is it? There it is there. Now we've done videos on these before, many times, and the problem is that latching part, you can even see a bit of wear on there looking close in. Can you just point to that wear on that one we normally take off, Graham? You can just see the edge of it there. Oh, you've lifted it a bit high. Just, yeah, that area there. Yeah, that area there. Now we're going to take that off
and have a look at it.
And we might be able to get away with it without modifying it. But I just want to remind people what we do to these. One second. Where that's yellow paint there, what we do, where's my pointer? The flip side of these have a bit of brass on them. Now that's designed to prevent magnetism, residual magnetism. This modification, as I mentioned before, what we do, we file out that area there, and we file out that area there, leaving just a small coverage area to latch onto. That will minimise any residual magnetism and give us less friction. Now I've said this before and I'm going to say it again, this was taught to us by Tim Meehan from Seattle. That's Tim Me on Pinside, and this works a treat. Now we'll probably do it to this machine, sorry about that shaking, because we don't want it to come back and bite us. That when you do it, you've got to make sure you've got a really smooth area across there, because that's where it rubs. Across there, that's what I'm trying to show you. So we'll do that. Just got the Dremel tool down there, cleaning those switches, and then we'll clean the back of it, the spinning one, so we can drop a bit of solder on there. Look at that ingenuity, he stuck an old fuse in there to keep them apart.
Yeah.
There's a pro tip for you people, you don't see that very often. There's no extra charge for that tip. So with the score motor up in the air like that, we've just got a block of wood jammed down there to keep it up. It just makes it easier to work on, as you can see. And there you go, he's got those switches that are just hanging over there. There he's got it there, and we'll put a bit of solder on that. But like I said, we've already checked that before and it didn't fix the problem 100%. Well, it didn't fix the problem. The problem is the too much friction or residual magnetism on that latching relay. He's just dropping a bit of flux on there. We use a bit of flux on some of these things. It makes it a little bit easier. There's the end result of solder, the bit of solder on the back of that switch.
Only takes a minute.
It's good. Just cleaned it with a Dremel and it's all ready to go. Now the only downside that we found here with this particular switch, you've got to be careful of. See the switch with the wire there, just show them the other one, the one that goes, this is one of those split switches.
Yeah, so if you're not sure, just take some photos.
Make sure you take a photo, because see what happens. Just pick that switch up, Graham, it's a split part. It's not that one, it's that one. So that goes on the closest to the camera, on the inside, not the outside.
And there's a red spacer there too.
Yeah, someone's put a red spacer on there.
We don't know if that's original or not, but I don't think so.
I don't think so, no. Okay, so we just got to fit all that back in onto the frame. Not too hard to do. Long screw in that side first.
And if you're not sure, if it's got nuts on it, 9 times out of 10,
well, the nuts go on the inside.
The holes are bigger,
Yeah.
so you can get it straight through, so, so they don't have to be screwed on. We'll get that top stack out the way. And just turn it around so the peg's not in the way of the switch.
To us this isn't daunting, but for some people I guess it is. So he's just going to pop the nuts back on there now and tighten that stack up.
Don't forget the...
And then he's got to fit stack 2C on, which is the one there in the black tape. The thing to be careful when you're doing this type of stuff is that your fingers or your hand can actually make a switch open up, like for argument's sake, just down here where he is. You know, he could accidentally pull that open. So you just got to watch for that sort of stuff. If something was working and then it's not working, after you fix it, you've got to check your work. Now the thing to remember when you screw those screws back down and tighten the nuts, that you've got to keep all the switches parallel to each other. In other words, you don't want
you look straight down.
You don't want them on an angle. You look straight across at them. So you just got to bear that in mind when you put switch stacks back on.
You don't want half a pad and half a pad.
So what he'll do, he'll probably take his block of wood out now so he can look straight down at it, like that.
And I'll check all the switches are functioning properly.
Righto, so he's checked that they're all aligned and everything nice. Now, there's 3 normally closed switches and 1 normally open. The normally open one is the outside switch, which we were concerned with. And stack 2B, B for Barry, are normally used as hold-on switches. So you often have normally closed, and as the motor comes back around to the home position, the studs here have the pegs underneath, and they're the things that operate the actuator and will change the state of the switches. So the normally open ones, normally closed ones will open, and the normally open one will close. So you spin your motor around manually and check that you're happy with it. Now what he'll do, he'll put stack 2C back on, the top stack. That's the one wrapped in tape. He's just making it so that he can get it on. Now remember, this has got the, just hold that right there, Graham.
Yep.
I've mentioned it before and I'm going to say it again, this one is the long throw and is the only motor switch on a Gottlieb in general that is in the long throw position. The idea of that is stack 2C is timed off the second tooth of 1A, the impulse switch, timed off the second tooth. So if you have that switch dog in the wrong position, a few things can happen. For argument's sake, they often use 2B as part of the circuit to reset credits on the replay unit. So if you had 5 credits and that switch was in the wrong position, that dog was in the wrong position, you'd start your game, and the classic symptom of that is that you'd had, all of a sudden, you'll have 3 credits. It took 1 extra off. The reason is it fired twice instead of, it pulsed off the first tooth instead of the second, and that's the idea of it being in the long throw position. A bit complex, I know, but that's a dead giveaway when you see that. And we've mentioned this in many videos. We did one on a pro football about end of 2023, December I think it was. Look at that and you'll see some other catastrophic results that came about from that being in the wrong position. Alright, so there's the reset relay pulled all apart. Spanky's just finished doing that. There's a closer look at it. It's got 2 stacks of switches on it, one on the bottom and one on the top. We can get in and give them a good clean while we've got it all apart. And here's the result of the plates that we modify, or the plate, not both plates, just the one plate. Right, so there's the one on the right we showed you before with the paint on it. There's what we've achieved with it by filing that down, making sure that we've got some nice smooth edges. And there's the other one that'll go back in. You can just see where the lugs of the switches were sitting. We haven't really given that a good clean yet. This one here as well has got the little brass bit on the back of it for the to rest on the metal post. So we've minimised, by doing this, we've minimised the latching area and got less friction. So when we put it back together, we're going to put a thin smear of PBR grease on the edge there. We'll put that in, and that reset relay will now work pretty much perfectly. Now we could have just probably cleaned it up properly and not done that, but look, you've got it here, we know it works 100%, so why not do it while we got it here? A lot of people say, oh, you know, that's not necessary. Well, you know, that's fine, that's up to you. We're just showing you what can be done and what people were doing way back in the early 70s. It's a pretty good idea. So here we go, we'll put it all back together now, and then we'll, hopefully it all should work properly. Right, so we've put those armature plates back in the A for Apple relay, and we're ready to test the game. Now, sometimes these are a little inconsistent when you are troubleshooting, and as I said, you definitely don't have to do what we do. You may just clean the faces of the armature plates, but now we can be assured that this will work 100% and we won't have any further trouble with it. So let's start the game and we should reset. Here we go. And it worked fine. Now, what our problem before was we'd start that game, but we'll reset a couple of times. So I'll just turn the power off on the game. I'll turn it back on, even though we're at reset. We'll start her up, and this is where we were having our trouble before. It's gone through that again. We'll just do that once more. Three times proves it, don't they say?
Beautiful.
Lovely. Our ball struggle getting over the trough there a bit.
This is our rusty one. We'll change that.
So, that's all done. We're happy about that.
Right, now what are we doing now? We're doing bumpers, bumper kits.
Got to change the bumper kit.
Flipper kits.
Flipper kit.
And the bumpers as well, bumper bodies.
And the bumper, yeah.
And the targets. Each target's going to be taken out and replaced with brand new ones.
And we'll actually show you how we take those old rivets off and rivet new ones on. We have done it in a previous video before. I think it may well have been target pool. We did that a few years back, but it doesn't hurt for a refresher course. We've also received this morning all the parts that we need for this. So as we just mentioned, we're going to change the pop bumper kits. Oh, there you go. Graham's got them all there. There they are.
Okay, we've got a chime kit.
One chime kit.
One flipper kit.
And a flipper kit. And this particular machine takes the O2 series flipper kit, indicated by K, T for kit, G for Gottlieb, flip, O2M kit.
And we've got flipper button switches.
The cabinet.
Cabinet switches. And three pop bumper
three
kits.
AC pop bumper kits. Alright. Well, we better get busy and start fitting all those things in. So what we're going to do now, we're going to take the playfield out, we'll put it in the cradle, and we'll start
getting into it.
All that work. Oh, should be lots of fun. Alright, we're underway removing the targets themselves. Graham will explain to you where he's up to.
Yeah, so
here.
what I've done, I've removed 4 of them already. So obviously they go in like that. And so what I've taken the common off the back of them and the power off 4 of them. So I've left the last target. The last target's got the feed for the common. So I've left that till last, right? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to get these back together. I've already done one, which Kim will show. But
it looks a lot better than the old. Just give us an old one there, Graham. Or
yeah.
Big difference, isn't it?
So what we had to do, because you got this bar in the way, so I can't drill out the actual target. So what you've got to do, well, the rivet, yeah, well, the target, yeah, and so we've got to drill that out there, one of these rivets here. You bend that, twist it out the way, and then you can get to that rivet. So if you don't, you've got to bend that backwards, and it just wouldn't be the same. The only other way you can do it is actually take the whole, both rivets out, and just get that off in one go, which we've done before, but
and we're going to replace that rivet we take out. What are we're going to use a nut, a screw, a BSW screw,
yeah,
1/8, and put a nut on the back end of it.
That's the backup plan. But what we're going to go down to the hardware shop tomorrow, and if we can find a rivet that length, we will get them.
Yes.
But if not, we'll use the screw and the nut.
All right.
Yep. So I think that's the way to go.
Okay, let's go and show the viewers now how you do this. Okay, here we go. Just got it in the vice grip pliers. Going to come down and drill that out. See the bits of it coming out now.
There we go.
All done.
So we've still got the little bit left in it, so we'll punch that out. We'll
Just
come
take
over
that up and punch it
to our
out.
special hole that we've got here.
So what we've done, we drilled a hole in the bench
Just for these cases.
for these type of jobs. Get a small punch.
Yeah, go. Didn't that hit it? Went straight out.
No need to even hit it. That small punch is, it's the,
Yep, that's the second one. That's the one that we use for the linkages for
that's
the
the
flippers.
1/8. Sorry, can't get it in focus, but the 1/8
So,
punch. Now he can swing that out of the
way,
road.
and then I can get that rivet out.
Okay. There's the rivet that's got to come out, so we'll put that back up on the drill press.
We've got to stipulate when you drill it, do not lose that washer,
Yes.
because it can be a pain to find one that size.
All right.
So here we're going.
Got your washer? Not off yet?
Maybe a little bit more.
A little bit more. All right.
You can actually get on the grinder and take the top off it, but you've got to be so careful not to lose that washer.
Yeah, it's safer this way.
And the only trouble is that sometimes when you drill it, the actual rivet spins, and that's why you can't get a good bite into it, which can be a problem. So we'll overcome it somehow.
There's everything all drilled out now. There's the washer you was worried about. Now we'll show you how we fit that new target on. Okay. Right, now the important thing here, there's a couple of little buds on the back of the target. He's just pointing to them. You've got, they fit in between the metal blade.
Yeah, so it's to stop the target from
Spinning. So he's got the rivet punch through there. Put his washer back on.
So I'm
just put a towel under there. He's just going to get that on there. Punch. This is more or less to get it started.
Because you don't want the whole thing to collapse when you put it in the vise.
And we're going to squeeze it together in the vise. So that's what the punch has done. He's got it all started. Now what he'll do, he'll just put this in the vise and squeeze it together to finish it off.
Beautiful.
And there's your end result. You happy with that?
Oh yeah, it looks great.
Now, like I said, we can now straighten that bit of metal up at the back there, and we're going to either get a screw and a nut and or
another rivet.
Another
if we can buy it, because
top rivet.
I know our hardware shop doesn't sell that sort of stuff, so we might have to go to a specialist store.
We can do that.
Anyway, so another 11 to go.
11 to go. Lots of fun, people. So, as you can see, we've now got all the targets fitted and back in the playfield.
New bumper bodies as well.
New bumper rings. We ended up putting in new bumper rings.
Yeah.
One of the bumpers, I think it was the top right one, had a funny ring in it. It was
out of
slightly larger thread on it.
Out of a later model game or something.
Yeah, we really don't know, do we? What it's out of.
But it wasn't the right one.
Anyway, we decided to fit 3 new ones in, once again conferring with the owner. So new flipper kit and pop bumper kits and the targets. So all those parts were supplied by the owner. We've just supplied the labour. And as we illustrated earlier, we only had that
reset
problem.
Yeah, that was pretty.
So let's go and turn the machine on at the power point now. And away we go.
Right.
It struggles there. It's going downhill.
Well,
trouble kicking the ball out. So there it is. Everything's alight by the look of it. Yep.
We'll see if they go.
So as you hit the target, the rollover value button, so it's at 1,000. So if we go over one of those rollovers, now it's back to 10, 100. As you can see, that just alternates. Oh, that's the other thing we're doing. We're rebuilding the chimes, so we've still got those out.
Still got them to do. Now we should get specials. No.
I bet you forgot to solder the wire on.
Probably.
He's hitting that target.
Anyway,
we'll fix that up in a moment.
That's the least things wrong with it. We're happy.
Yeah. So, all in all, this machine's
pretty ready to go.
Pretty well ready to go. Just fix that target up the top. Matter of fact, while we're on the job, we'll just lift the lid up and we'll just see exactly what's going on there. As we suspected, Spanky hasn't done good quality control. We left the 2 wires off there. So we'll just solder those back on.
It's a make switch, this one.
Yeah. Oh, that's the other thing we did. We put oh no, we didn't. We didn't have to put new switches on the cabinet. So I'll solder that wire on.
We did buy switches. We haven't got them on yet.
We haven't got them on.
So we can do that too.
Yeah, we've got to put the switches on the cabinet. Yeah, I couldn't remember if we bought them or not.
Yeah, they're in the packet on the table.
So, yeah, we're going to put the new cabinet switches on. They're not all that good. So,
we'll just do that and we'll get back.
This bothersome A relay here is all good now. So just remember, people, that modification is quite important to do if you want it to be reliable. I'm not saying it wouldn't have been reliable if we just cleaned the edges up of the 2 armature plates as we illustrated earlier on when we had them laying down. But this particular way seems to be the best option, the way to go. Well, like I said, we'll put the 2 new flipper switches in.
Yeah, solder
that wire on.
And away we go.
And then we'll be off and running. Please remember to consider subscribing to our channel. Don't forget to give us the big thumbs up. Ask away in the comment section down below if you've got anything you wish to know about this repair. And this has been another Goat Shed presentation.